Okay, in chronological order, this will have been recorded a great deal after the videos that should appear after it. Anyway, I made a rather large purchase from Goodman Games. Long story short, the primary reason why I made the purchase showed up and it was damaged. I reached out. It took a little bit of time, but they have sent a replacement. No muss, no fuss. Just shipping has been very slow all around for a lot of stuff lately. So, what I have... Oh my goodness. Well, this is definitely better packed than when it came in the first time. What I have is the Dungeon Crawl Classics Tome of Adventure, Volumes 1 through 4, Slipcase edition. And it looks pretty good. When I had the copy come in before, it had just taken some serious abuse in the mail and was not in good shape at all. So I did an original first look video for it, but I just couldn't let it stand. It was too much money spent on something that is really kind of meant to go on my shelf as a library thing, to have it then show up and be all dinged up. So these look really good. We have Volume 1, which is a series of adventures. I am going to be smart enough to know that there's a code in the front cover, and I'm not going to show it off. This has in it Doom of the Savage King, Sailors on the Starless Sea, both of which I've actually run, both good. People of the Pit, The Emerald Enchanter, which I didn't have, Jewel of the Carnifex, The 13th Skull, which I didn't have, and Beyond the Black Gate. They look good. They have that awesome art. I look forward to taking a look at these, including the ones that I have not previously looked at. Volume 2. Boy, look at that art. I love it. This has in it Immercool was framed, which I don't believe I had. Maybe I did. Blades Against Death, The Sea Queen Escapes, The Sunken Kingdom of Rue, which I think was the extra bit on Sea Queen Escapes, if I remember right. The Colossus Arise, Well of the Worm, The Croaking Fane, Fate's Fell Hand, and Frozen in Time, as well as The Forlorn North. Frozen in Time I have played. Again, full of all that Dungeon Crawl Classics goodness. Volume 3. This is the Lankmar series. Now, I am under the impression that Goodman Games no longer has the license for Lankmar, so that was part of the reason that I wanted to get this, so that I could make sure I had this before it was no longer available. This has Masks of Lankmar, Gang Lords of Lankmar, Fences, Fortuitous Folly, Acting Up in Lankmar, Violence in Votashal, something, Blasphemy and Larceny in Lankmar, Cheating Death, A Dozen Lankmar Locations, and Patrons of Lankmar. And, I love my probably favorite kind of fantasy is urban fantasy. And for years, for quite a long time, and I would say years, when I first started running role-playing games, it was largely urban fantasy. And so I really do want to dip into that. even if I reskin Lankmar as something else, but I want to use those books and do some urban exploration in games. And then the last volume is the Purple Planet. This had come out, or this was going out of print just as I was getting into Dungeon Crawl Classics. And so just as I was sort of discovering the game, all the Purple Planet stuff was becoming unavailable. And so I am glad that it's finally available now. This has Peril on the Purple Planet, Book of Handouts, Lost Tomb of the Ancients, Purple Planet Companion, Escape from the Purple Planet, The Rock Awakens, Synthetic Swordsman of the Purple Planet, Sky Pirates of the Purple Planet, Invasion of the Purple Planet, Chess Men of the Purple Planet, a glossary of Ethos, something, and an appendix. So that's great. I'm very excited to crack into this. I managed to find one Purple Planet adventure, but I never read most of this stuff. And, I grew up, even though I've lost my love of Edgar Rice Burroughs, especially after finally last year finishing all 10 of the, I think it's 10, maybe 11 of the Mars books, kind of cured me of my desire to really read any more Burroughs, at least anytime soon. But I grew up with Burroughs, and I grew up with this kind of crazy stuff, and so I'm very excited to throw this sort of thing into my game. Also, if I remember right, Neon Knights, I think, is a module that doesn't get talked about a lot, but I believe you get warped to the Purple Planet in Neon Knights, which is one of the first modules I ever picked up. And I did kind of weave it in, although it didn't end up going anywhere, to one of the games that I ran. So anyway, I want to thank Goodman Games for getting me a replacement copy, because the one that I had was damaged in shipping, and they did a good job of getting this out to me. It took a while, but shipping takes a while. I didn't mention, and I'm seeing that these have, if I can find the page, these have, yeah, there we go. Oh my goodness. You can tell this is unscripted. They do have, each one of them has a bookmark. So that's really nice. And each one seems to be color-coded. We've got purple for the Purple Planet. Also, it looks like a different purple for Lankmar, and then a blue-green and a green, it looks like. So anyway, again, thanks to Goodman Games for getting me this nice, pristine copy. This will have a spot on my shelves and a prize spot in my collection. It is a hefty tome, and I'm just glad to have a nice, solid copy of it. So anyway, there might be some videos coming up that will reference a damaged copy of this, but just ignore it because Goodman Games got me a nice, fresh copy, and thank you to them. Until next time, take care.